Let's jump right into this one because today's explainer is just absolutely mind-bending. We're looking at this wildly creative visual project where a totally normal, everyday backyard gets transformed into a massive, hyper-realistic smartphone. It's like a giant, meticulously planned puzzle. We're going to break down the four-stage evolution of exactly how a simple patch of dirt becomes this flawless, massive replica of a Sparks Neo 7 Plus. So you might be wondering, how on earth do you actually build a giant smartphone in a backyard? Well, to wrap our heads around this, we really have to look at how these tiny human construction workers carve the precise shape of the Sparks Neo 7 Plus straight into the ground. At first, it sounds like this impossible, monumental task, right? But what's actually happening is an incredibly deliberate, highly organized excavation. I mean, they are just digging a random hole in the dirt. They are literally sculpting a precise technological footprint right into the middle of this lush green environment. And the way this whole project is framed is absolutely crucial for maximum engagement. Notice how there's this fixed, top-down drone camera capturing every single step in glorious 4K. It's shot in that vertical 9:16 aspect ratio, that classic, highly visual Instagram Reel style that's literally custom-tailored for how we scroll on our phones. Plus, there's absolutely no distracting text, no annoying watermarks to pull your eye away. It's just pure, continuously satisfying visual progression unfolding right beneath us. Okay, here's our construction blueprint for today. First, the cinematic canvas. Second, stage 1, the excavation. Third, forming the 3D base. Fourth, the construction phase. And finally, number 5, the final luxurious reveal. Section 1, the cinematic canvas, setting the perfect scene. These strict visual rules, the vertical ratio, the top-down angle, the 4K quality, the vibrant lighting, they essentially create an unmoving stage. Since that drone camera angle never ever changes, your brain gets to lock in and focus entirely on the magical transformation happening dead center in the frame. And the lighting, it stays so vibrant and realistic throughout the whole thing, which acts as this really powerful anchor. You always know exactly where you are in the sequence, even as the landscape goes through these drastic changes. Actually, by utilizing this hyper-detailed 4K render, literally every single blade of grass and tiny organic shadow is completely preserved. It perfectly anchors this wild digital shape right into a very realistic physical space. And honestly, this makes the contrast between the raw natural world and the super crisp geometric construction just that much more intense and incredibly satisfying to watch. Stage 1, the excavation, carving the shape. Now watch closely because the workers don't just dig some generic boring box, no way. From the very first scoop of soil, the edges are kept perfectly clean. They're capturing those distinctive rounded corners, the proper display shape, and get this, even the exact placement of the rear camera module. They're laying it all out with absolute, undeniable precision straight into the earth. It's wild. And here's a really charming little detail. Adding this slight motion blur to the busy little workers contrasts perfectly against the clean, stationary edges of the carved earth. While the pit itself has this sharp, rigid geometry mimicking the smartphone, the human element, the workers actively digging and shaping, is rendered with this really subtle, realistic blur. It gives the whole scene so much life and movement. It really highlights the sheer physical effort it takes to impose digital order onto raw nature. Stage 3, forming the 3D base, structuring the foundation. So right about here is where we really see the raw, organic earth getting completely replaced by these meticulously refined materials. On one side, we've still got the rich textures of natural soil and grass. But inside that pit, it is all about structured, ultra-accurate 3D concrete dimensions. The exact screen proportions of the device are structurally locked in, completely taking over the organic space. It's a real game changer for the vibe of the project. The source material specifically highlights this part as a premium construction aesthetic, and they absolutely hit the nail on the head. The entire tone of the project just completely shifts right here. It's not just a digging process anymore. It's the beginning of a true architectural endeavor. The edges get heavily refined, and it suddenly feels incredibly professional. Like this backyard monument is literally being built to last for centuries. Stage 4. The construction phase, adding the polish. Now the workers actively kick things into high gear, installing these gorgeous high-end materials onto our now very recognizable smartphone base. They start by refining the structural edges, then they move right on to installing premium construction tiles, and finally, they apply these super glossy exterior panels directly onto that 3D concrete base. And what's really amazing is that through all these steps, the physical identity of the Sparks Neo 7 Plus is never lost. It's beautifully embedded right there inside the pit. The highly satisfying transformation perfectly captures the psychological appeal of this stage, doesn't it? I mean, watching Raw Earth fundamentally change into something sleek and perfectly manufactured really taps into our deep desire for visual order and completion. And all of this unfolds under that same unblinking drone lens we talked about earlier, keeping us completely hooked on the steady, mesmerizing progression. Stage 5. The final luxurious reveal, seamless integration. Okay, just take a second to appreciate how these incredibly rich synthetic materials nestle so perfectly into the natural environment. We are talking glossy black tiles, stunning polished stone, and highly reflective surfaces that catch the cinematic lighting just exactly right. The textures have completely, 100% evolved from organic dirt to the most elegant luxury you can imagine. The ultimate result? A seamlessly embedded technological jewel, gleaming with vibrant colors. The design of the smartphone isn't just recognizable, it is extremely clean, incredibly modern, and just oozes luxury. The original shape and the precise rear camera arrangement have been preserved with flawless accuracy, turning an everyday mobile device into a literal symbol of absolute luxury. So as we hit the final stretch, we're presented with this striking contrast. It's this surprisingly harmonious marriage of raw nature and perfect modern geometry. Think about it. We started with realistic shadows falling across simple grass and soil. Now, those exact same environmental details are surrounding a sleek, reflective masterpiece of polished stone and glossy screens. And because that fixed camera angle never changed, this before and after contrast is just incredibly clear and satisfying. As we wrap up this beautifully satisfying explainer, I want you to reflect on how these elements actually work together to create something unforgettable. Does the lush green garden make the phone look more luxurious? Or does the sleek phone somehow elevate the simple backyard? When organic nature meets flawless digital luxury, which one truly defines the final masterpiece?